Alana, welcome to the podcast. Good to have you.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Brian. Thanks for the invite. Happy to be here today.
Well, yeah, wonderful to have you. Well, when I reached out on LinkedIn, I had Alina Vandenberghe on, and I reached out on LinkedIn when I posted her episode. I said, "Hey, is there any other like great female founders I should have on the show?" And Alina was the one. She was the first that posted. She said, "You need to be on here." So that's why you're here, and that's why I invited. I always get some of the best guests from referrals from other guests. So yeah,
That's
certainly
cool.
appreciate you being on. How did you
That's
and
very cool.
Alina meet? Yeah, how did you all meet?
So yeah, actually, like I think it's a long story because I think we met previous time at one of the conferences. It was like poker night or something like that. But it
Right.
was like very fast and we didn't like talk a lot. But I think the last time when I was in New York this year, yes, I think we met like this last time. She invited me for a dinner that she makes for go to market leaders. And we were talking at this dinner, and we understood that we are both from Eastern Europe. So I'm from Ukraine, she's from Romania. And we actually have like very similar cases in our both countries, and we were just like
Yeah.
connected talking about like what is happening and how Lina actually supports Ukraine. So yeah, it was like very good deep dive connection that we had. And
Yeah.
yeah, after that we just like constantly I think met each other like all the time at different conferences and events.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good to have those folks, I guess, that you can bounce ideas off of, just share kind of similar struggles
Yeah,
building a business, whatever.
that's true.
So, yeah. Well, tell me, I want to get into like how to build a profitable business a little bit later. We'll kind of jump down the rabbit hole, but I'm just curious in general, like, why did you decide to get into finance as like a business? Like you went to school for it, right? You started your career with it. Like, why is it's not the sexiest thing in the world? It's like why finance?
And actually, I'm like trying to prove the opposite that this is the sexiest thing in the
Oh,
world.
okay.
So
It should be maybe. Okay, that's good.
at
That's
least
good.
should be. So,
Yeah. Well, I think they
yeah,
teach it more in school. They certainly should be teaching it more, especially in the US. Like they don't
yes.
teach finances. They don't teach kids how to like think about taxes, like credit cards, anything. And I think it's a
Yes.
big miss. So anyways, I'm just kind of curious. Yeah. How did you get into it? Kind of attracted you to it?
Yeah, so like I always was curious like about math. So I loved math from my childhood, and it was something that I was very inspired by. So I think that like when I had like to make some decisions in what university I want to come, so what exactly I want to learn. So it was like something like between okay, will it be like something connected to math because I love it, but I also try to understand if there is like some business side like that can be applicable.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
found about finance and economics, and I really like it because in my high grade school, so I learned a lot like from economics part, and I had an awesome teacher who also was an entrepreneur, and she shared like very practical stories like from economical view, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting to learn
Yeah.
everything about demand and supply and all the things. But it was mostly I think the teacher was just amazing. And
Yeah.
I decided to continue this journey, so I was already like very inspired. So I got like my bachelor degree in finance, my also MA degree, master degree in finance. And all the time I think during all my journey I had like very cool teachers in finance and economics, so they were
Yeah.
all amazing. They were explaining everything from practical side. I remember on my master degree, I had a teacher who explained me like with Simpsons, like
Yeah.
how to do
Yeah.
finance. So he literally like shown us like some episodes from Simpsons and explaining how it
Oh,
can be connected with finance. So it was like pretty amazing. After like having this master degree in finance and also bachelor degree in finance, so like all finance people, they usually go or to big four companies or to big three companies. So,
right. Right.
and all were dreaming about that. So I decided to go to PwC. I became an auditor. It was very boring.
Yeah.
I think like I understood it pretty fast that I was like in taxes, in audit, and it was like not very exciting as I expected it to be. So
Yeah.
I decided to go and be more like as financial analyst. And I used to work in real estate company as financial analyst, and after that as a CFO, and also helping like other friends like doing their finance, making financial models. And that's like all started like just like from me like being this also fractional CFO person. And
Mhm.
I saw that there is like a big need, so there is like no good solution for that at all on the market. And still I saw how painful like for all like founders, entrepreneurs to deal with the finance. And I think like the reason like when I saw like how it can be painful for companies, for founders, when they do these financial mistakes, and
Mhm.
when they do them, that they lose a lot of money. I don't know, they can lose their homes. So it was just like, I don't know, like I had this like, I don't know, passion to fix the situation and help like all entrepreneurs to understand and do their finance better and just improve that for all companies, not just like for several or dozens when you do like some service or consulting business.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Well, let's go deeper into that in a second, but we have our rapid fire portion, the tradition on the show here. So here we go. So I'm going to throw out a couple questions. We're going to pull them randomly from the jar, and let's see what you get today. All right. What's the mental checklist you run through before saying yes to something?
Oh, I have very actually I have very financial attitude here.
Okay.
Um, so I learned from at early age. I learned what is alternative cost of everything. So this is actually very economical thing. So when you like do something, you don't do something else.
Right.
And when I what I do all the time, and I understood that recently that it's just like basic thing that I don't know with me from 15 or 16 years old. So I usually trying to understand what will be the alternative cost. So if I say yes to that, it definitely means that I am saying no to something else. So
Mhm.
what is that when I am saying no to something else? And if I'm sure that saying no to other things is actually will bring me the value, saying yes to this. So it always about like understanding this alternative costs of my decisions.
Mhm.
And yes, before like saying yes, I'm now I think very attentive to that. So when I
Yeah.
just like started, and I think I was like very naive but very passionate person, like I was literally saying yes to everything, like, but later understood it works at first stages but it doesn't work at later stages.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I'm still like doing this exercise with understanding to what exactly I'm saying no at this time.
And I guess to do that, you have to get better at saying no, because before it seems like, and like most of us are, we have a hard time saying no. Someone asks us, you're like, yeah, I'll make it work. So you really have to get good at saying, hey, no, not now. Right.
Yes, exactly. I think that is like another skill like to learn, that you need like to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
Because I think like the most important part that yes, like time is also your resource. So and time is also like also very very valuable, even more valuable like than money. And when you understand how much time you spend on that things, and you invest your time, so from your time should be also a return on investment. So
Yes.
that's like how I think about that. How is it from your side? When you did you understand and learned how to say no?
Yeah, it's been a struggle for me because I don't know about you, but like I was and I probably still am a recovering people pleaser. Like always wanted to say yes, always wanted to help people, and realizing that I wasn't valuing my time as much.
Yes.
So yeah, I look at it as kind of similar to you. Is like I try to evaluate that opportunity cost of, okay, if I do this, um, how's it going to impact maybe my business or time with my son or whatever it is. There's something I heard. I think it was I'll attribute it maybe to Kevin Kelly. I can't remember. I might be giving miss alignment on that to someone else. I should have been, but I heard this a while ago where it was like, if I'm not gonna do it tomorrow, or if I don't want to do it tomorrow, then don't say yes. So like if
Mm,
I have an event I get invited to in 3 months, imagine the event was tomorrow. And if I wasn't excited to go to it tomorrow, then I'm not going to be excited in 3 months. So say no to it. And that's kind of like maybe that mental checklist I use of like, should I do this or not?
That's very cool point. I love that. Never thought
Yeah.
about like that's like about like if I would say on that yes tomorrow. It's very cool.
Yeah, I think it's because it puts us in the moment. Because a lot of times we do say, "Oh, that'll be cool. Well, it's 6 months away. Sure, I'll do it." And then the 6 months, we all have done this. We get up and we're like, "I don't want to go to that tomorrow." Well, I never should have said it initially, right? So,
We
yeah,
all be there.
we're all at fault. We're all at fault. All right, here we go. Number two. What's one risk you're glad you took?
Yeah, so first of all, I actually thankful like to myself that I took this risk of building fuel finance, and I think I took like this risks all the time. So when the first I started, and it was just like mostly fractional CF4 agency, and another risk that I took when I decided, okay, I want to build a startup, I want to build a tech product. And it was another big risk because we needed to hire engineers, I needed to fundraise. So it was, I think, the second risk I took. And the third risk, I think, about like moving to the US.
Mm,
So, and like, like starting life from scratch, I think that's another risk that actually, all this like big risks, they actually helped me to be where I am now.
mm. Yeah, have you felt like the moving to the US, was that something you always wanted to do, or was that impacted by the war, or what was the kind of the reason?
Yeah, so actually, like it was not impacted by the war. So I love my country, and but I always thought that like US is a big country, and they have like many opportunities here, like to build worldwide business, and I'm very ambitious person, so I
Yeah.
understand that Ukraine is pretty small market, and they just can't realize, and they can't do everything what I want just because the market is small. And
Yeah.
that was like the reason why I decided to move to the US. So that's the only reason. So I never did it before because I was like, I don't know, I wanted to leave the country because of the war. So
Yeah.
I used to live in Ukraine during the war and work in bomb shelters. So for me, it's like, okay, I learned how to do that thing. So,
Yeah.
and overall, I think, yes, mostly because of business needs and because I see big opportunities for myself and for fuel finance. If I like, if I will be here in the US.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that. Sharing that. Yeah. And that's I can't even we won't even go down that rabbit. I can't even imagine doing work in like bomb shelters and stuff. You know, it's just it's stuff we don't even understand, I don't think, in the US a lot of the time, what some other parts of the world go through, you know?
Yeah, but I usually like to say that I don't want actually any people in the world understand what it is. So like when
Yeah.
just I don't know, like when your grandparents say that I don't know, war is the most awful thing, and like I just didn't understand that. Like, but now when I understand that, I think that definitely the I think the most awful thing in the world, and
Yeah.
don't want anyone to actually be in such situations. So but yeah, overall, like we learned like how to do that things. But I think that just like I love my country a lot, so I would never leave this country because of the war. I think it's even an opposite situation. So it's like I think another mission to help Ukraine win the war. So like I wanted to be there. So I wanted to help my
Yeah.
country. So that's another feeling. But I also understand that building worldwide business it also can help my country. So
Yeah. Good
that's
point.
another side. Yes, another
Yeah.
mission for fuel was added.
Yeah, there you go. Fuel to the fire, if we use a pun there. Um, what's something you wish more people understood about starting?
About starting. That's a good point. I think that definitely I wish like more people. We all say that like doing business is very hard, but what I definitely wish that people would understand better that they do this business and there are like many things, and doing business is always about money. So I think that we don't talk a lot about money.
Yeah.
And I believe that many people, they start business because they are very enthusiastic, they want to change this world, they want to do something great. And I think that at the start we all don't think like how actually like we will do that, like what we want to achieve with this business, because we invest a lot of money, resources, energy in that. And I think that this, like having more talks at the start about money, this is something which is very not often case what I see. And I
Mm.
think that can be painful, because when you start to understand that you need to think about that, it's already a little bit late. So you already made like many financial mistakes that actually can kill
Uh,
your business. So I think that if people would start to think about that earlier, like from day one, so I see that a lot from second time founders. So they do
yeah.
that all the time. So their like probability to survive is much higher. So I think that understanding that what you should do at the start to have higher probability to survive, that actually like is very important point that not discussed a lot. What do you
So
see
you're
from revenue perspective?
Yeah. So you're saying, just to underscore that, you're saying it's great to have enthusiasm, excitement, have a great idea, but from the start, you need to know like how this is going to make money. Like
Yes.
if otherwise, it's just a hobby,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Okay. And we'll go into that a little bit deeper when we talk about that's kind of tipping our conversation we're going to get into in just a minute. All right. Question 4. Can you share a light bulb moment that changed your trajectory? Anything that comes to mind, like a light bulb aha moment, something that impacted your trajectory, maybe pushed it to another direction?
Hmm. I think like yes, definitely. So another trajectory. It was before building tech products. So definitely, I think that I understood it was like the point where like I definitely understood that I make an impact when I'm like CFO or fractional CFO. We provide service, but I understood that it's not enough. So I started to understand like how many businesses overall in the world, and
Mhm.
I understood that if my ambition like to help like as many companies as possible to avoid like this painful financial mistakes,
Mhm.
I understood that it would never be enough from service perspective. So maybe I can build like I don't know another PwC, but it's still like very limited number of companies that I can help. So I
Right.
think that when I understood that, and I was like connected with this feeling that I want to do more, I will not be satisfied and happy just helping dozens of companies. I think that was this key point, like going to another trajectory. And also, I think like it was another one when I met my co-founder, because I always I always have been a financial person, but when I met my co-founder and they with his previous company, they were one of our first customers and they tested our product and they became profitable in 5 months. And we started to talk with him like how I see all this like fuel finance in the future, so where it should go.
Mhm.
And I understood that yes, I want to build something big. And he has engineering background, and he
Okay.
actually helped me to understand that yes, this is now like MVP that we built, but now there are like such steps like to hire engineers, like to do fundraising, to go in another direction. So I think he helped
Right.
me a lot to see like completely another perspective, so where it can go, like, and what we can achieve.
That's great. Yeah. All right. Last question here. Here we go. Drum roll. What's one commitment you made to yourself this year?
One commitment. It's, like I always think about revenue growth. I don't know, like I don't know how, but
All right. That's
yourself.
fine. At least you're honest about it. That's fine.
Yeah, I think like we have like our big goal that we want to cross like 280K MRR in December, and that's like what we have a very ambitious goal to do.
Okay.
And I think that's like what I think about, but another perspective, from personal perspective, because I think we have so many changes now. We're building company, we're adding AI CFO solutions, so there are like many things are happening. So another
Mhm.
commitment that I have, that like to um, be attentive and good with myself. So I think
Yeah.
just understand that I have enough energy, that I have like enough capacity to lead my team and do also everything connected with that. If it like connected with health or sport, or what helps me to be like in this high energy, very productive mood, because I believe that when you have like very ambitious goals, like where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and you definitely understand that like it all driven a lot by founders. So if
Yeah.
founders, they're not high energy and they don't believe in that, or they can't do that because they're exhausted, so it also will be hard to achieve for all team.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good. And again, I don't mind the revenue commitment. That's good to have. Did you say you said 280
Yes.
for December? Okay, wow. Okay, that's good. I'm just making a note of this for our conversation. So that's a good transition then. So obviously we wanted to talk a little deeper to help folks about building a profitable business, right? And you have to have revenue for that.
Yes.
Um, but what are some let's take the 30,000 foot view to start, and then we could pull some threads on those. What are some of like the common things? Maybe it's blind spots or mistakes. We already talked about earlier, like people aren't even thinking about money at the beginning. So that's one. But what are some things like early founders that they, stub their toe on, that they're not thinking about when it comes to profit or finances? You can kind of take it in whatever direction. Are there a few that come to mind that are just glaring?
Yeah, so I think that when you're at early stage, so I think that people, so let's make it like if you're before like $1 million like in annual
Hmm.
revenue, so usually you make the mistake that you don't do finance at all. So you don't have like any financial plan, you don't have any KPIs. So how much money you actually need, if you will hire these people, how much money you will spend, how this will impact your like profitability or cash flow runway, so whatever type of business you build. So if it's like a small medium business, or if it's like startup, but not having this at least like high level financial plan, that's the key
Hmm.
mistake number one that I see. And not doing this like plan actual analysis. So okay, this is what you plan, because all people when they start, their founders, they don't know how to plan. They definitely plan very ambitious. So I saw
Right.
like hundreds of times this exponential graphs with growth somewhere
Oh,
in the
right.
future, and it's
Right.
not connected with reality, so it's not
Right.
clear what exactly will be done to get this result.
It
So
looks good on a PowerPoint slide, but like
yes.
it's, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But I think that just like having this first financial plan, and I always say that do your first financial plan by your own, and don't do that for investors, do it for yourself, because when you do this exercise you understand all key points of your business model. So what impacts your revenue, what impacts your expenses, how you can get more money, how you can grow your revenue, what people you need to hire. So it's very good exercise to understand your business model, how it works, and you will be more like in the situation that you understand what exactly you need to drive. So what your key goal, key focus number one now. So
Mhm.
that's exactly like what I see from this perspective. So, like doing this financial plan by your own, because I also saw that like sometimes founders, they wanted to delegate like this financial model to someone else. The specialists, they made very complicated, big financial models that actually
Right.
not relevant for early stage companies. So
Yeah.
there's like no sense out of that. And yeah, definitely from this perspective, doing this first financial model and try to track at least on a monthly basis your cash flow and how you're going to your KPIs. So if you achieve them or not. So, and
Okay.
do like this realistic double check what you did as the first financial plan, if you're still going in this direction. And I
Right.
think that in many cases, founders, they stay very optimistic. So they see that what they planned previous months, it's actually they didn't achieve that. And deviation is huge, but they still plan for all next months this like plan that we will hit that. We will do this growth and it's good. But I think that you should have like plan B or C, several more plans
Mhm.
if you will not do that. Because if you didn't make it like previous month, something like tremendously different should be happen during the next month you achieve these results. But they stay in this very optimistic mode and they do decisions based on this very optimistic forecast. So they hire people, increase expenses, and after they see this gap. Okay, I planned that we will be here with our revenue. We are not there, but I increase my expenses, and now we have this cash gap, or we are unprofitable. And in this case, you need to like increase your survival period as much as
Yeah.
possible. And it's also
Yeah.
like about matching and make good realistic financial plan at the start.
Are there a couple key metrics that either you use with your business or you encourage folks to think about? Like, so someone's starting today, they're like, all right, this is great. I have no idea like what metrics I should even be thinking about. Like, what are two or three main ones that are something they should be focused on?
So you definitely know that the first one is revenue. So
Well,
the
yeah,
second one, total expenses. So number like amount of total expenses that you have. Also your profit, so if you're profitable or not, and your cash balance and how much money you burn. So I think that's like very high level. And
mm,
yeah, with cash balance you always need to know like cash flow is king, so that's 100%. And still you have cash flow, still you will be good with your business. So controlling cash flow, cash inflow, cash outflow. I recently saw like many, I think, things that happen for many founders at early stages, at later stages, that they have problem with cash inflow, cash collections from their customers. So accounts receivables are growing, they can't pay their salaries, so their payroll to their
right.
team. And so yeah, just controlling this part, like understand that you have these numbers all the time, so you know like what is your revenue, how you're doing, how you're growing, what
Yeah.
is your like total amount of expenses, how they're changing month to month, if you're profitable or not, how much you're unprofitable. And also on another side, this cash flow, cash balance, that's just must.
Is that when you talk about like the cash flow, is that based on, you know, because I think about like from an average business, like let's say your business, right? I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm wrong, but like, are you having people pay monthly? Do they pay annual subscriptions? Because that could change, right? If people are paying upfront for the year, that's going to help with cash flow
Yes.
versus a monthly or when they pay their 30 or 60-day terms or whatever, right?
Yes. Yeah, we have monthly, quarterly, and annual subscriptions, and it helps a lot. So when you understand your cash flow and you start to think, okay, we are not great with our cash flow, maybe we can switch more customers to annual subscription. So definitely they should be happy with what they get. But if
Mhm.
they're happy, they are ready like to pay this upfront payment for the year, especially when they get discounts, they have fixed price, so they also have like some points like and why they want to switch to annual, why they can want to switch. And that's a very good point to have. So learn how you can do annual and quarterly payments is very important, so it will help like any companies. And the same like in B2B companies, so B2B or service business or B2B SaaS or whatever you build. So in B2B, you have like usually pretty high checks, higher than definitely than B2C. So it totally
Mhm.
makes sense to have these payments upfront. It can help you in case, I don't know, you need fundraising, but you can get upfront payments from your happy customers. And
Yeah.
that's going to help you. So I think that not many founders think about that at early stages.
Well, and it's a good point to mention because like I see this a lot with the sales coaching I do. It's like I think it's a confidence thing. A lot of founders are scared to ask for up, you know, like let's say their product costs $20,000 a year. They feel more like inclined to say, all right, pay monthly because they think like someone can't afford the 20K and they don't realize the benefit of someone paying up front because it's those things, and you know this, right? It's like the back end. Well, if you're working with a business that's a solvent business, they have to do accounting every month and they have to make sure that invoice is paid. Like that's human stuff on their end. you can actually alleviate that by just setting one invoice per year. So a lot of I see it as a confidence thing as well than just a structure thing. It's like they're just scared to ask for the money.
Yes, it's very cool point. Actually, we
Yeah.
learned a lot like how to do this annual payments. We're still learning, so I still think that we can do it much better.
Yeah.
But it's definitely I'm agree with you. So that's a lot from perspective like how confident you are to do that thing. So and yes, I see that like some salespeople, they're like, yes, this is annual payment. They're okay. They just say that. So,
Yeah.
and you just like make this discussion with customer. But some they start like, oh, maybe they don't want like to pay this amount. So I will ask. It will be like a problem. I don't know. Like that's just very interesting case. But yeah, definitely worth it. So.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's some things on strategy people can do with that. Well, it actually leads me, I had a note down here I wanted to get your thoughts on around the mindset of money. Because I think about this from a general human, like, one of my favorite books is Morgan Housel's Psychology of Money. And I just
Oh yeah.
like that thought. So how do you think, or how should founders maybe things you've learned should have a mindset toward money so they're not scared of looking at the numbers or doing financial records or whatever it is?
Yeah, I think sometimes some founders I see the next thing. Some founders are scared to look at their numbers. And I think it's very similar like to personal finance when you just like spend some money and at the end of the month you want like
Right.
you need to see it and review like what actually you spent. And it's
Yeah.
like a little bit scary because when you see like the whole picture, like, oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
that's also like from scary thing, it's a learning thing. So you're doing much better from month to month when you
Yeah.
just see the real picture of everything. Some of the founders they think that this is not a very important thing. So and they think okay maybe like sales important, like marketing important, product important, and like finance is like on the last place. And they think about that before something happened. When something already happened, they burn some money, they don't have like enough profits, or like they have some loan they need to pay, they start to think, oh my gosh, yes, that's really important point, but only after doing like this some already big mistakes. Another point that what I see from founders, they usually, so yes, we all build businesses and we are very connected with what we build, definitely. And I think that we think about that like, okay, we run, and we don't think, okay, what goals we have here for this business. So do I want to get
Right.
profit on the final end? Or I don't know, I want to sell this company. So what will be amount of money I want to sell it for? So 50, 60,
Hmm.
$70 million before taxes, after taxes. So how much money I want to get out of that? Well, I want to build a business that will bring me profit and dividends like every year. So what amount I have on my mind? And I think that business finance is very connected to personal finance from this perspective, because
Hmm.
that's very important to set up your personal financial goals, and it will
Yeah.
drive you after that to understand, okay, if I invest like 100% even more in my business, and this is
Right.
the one source where I can get it, and just like review your business not just as a place where you run and you do great things, but also ask yourselves like from financial perspective what you want to get from it. And after that understand
Hmm.
how you will go to that, so what you need to achieve, what team you need, what resources you need, so what KPIs you need. And that actually I think I see that a lot. Maybe more mature founders, they understand
Yeah.
it more. And when you become older, you already think, okay, it can't be like that. I can't, I don't know, work with so much, like with so low salary all the time. I need to get something out
Yeah.
of that. So that can be changed. But
Yeah.
at early stages, and also like can be actually happen even at later stages.
Yeah. Are you in the camp of like build slowly and always like be having cash flow and profits and like building the business off the profits, or you like the scale as fast as you can, just dump as much money? Like I think there's kind of two frame of thoughts here. Where do you fall on?
Yeah, it actually it was very hard for me at the start because I have financial background. I used to be a CFO and we switched to be a startup, and we
Mhm.
raised our seed round, and we're like, okay, now we need to burn money. I remember that feeling that it was for me like very painful. I always learned
Yeah.
how to do profit. So I
Yeah.
didn't learn how to burn money, to be honest. So, and that's, I think, another like key points, like that you also need to learn how to burn and understand that what you burn is efficient. So I learned how to do that thing. I think that we are still like balancing, but we were balancing because we were looking at early stages for our product market fit. We were trying to understand what is our ideal customer profile. We were building the product that we understand covers all the problems and needs that our customers have. So we're sure that we have good retention with them. And I think that it took some time, and now we're already in the mode where we like, okay, we understood what channels we have in go to
Hmm.
market, what we want to scale. We understood who is our ideal customer profile. We understood like what product we're building, that it covers key problems, and now we have the next step of building the product. And now we're already in the stage where we're ready to burn and run. But before that, I think it was mostly the stage B, more like in this a little bit of safe mode, because we're balancing between like, okay, let's
Yeah.
find some product market fit and spend money, but not spend a lot, because if we will spend now and run at early stages too fast, we just will burn everything and we will not
Yeah.
find our product market fit. So,
Yeah.
but now we're already in the second stage, and I am ready, like to be honest, because I understood that we found all the things. I ready like to go and burn like as much money as need,
Yeah.
just like to like go to this like final idea that we have to have like thousands of customers that will be happy and whom we will help. So
Right.
now I think it's more clear like how we can do that.
So that you made a really good point there. I want to make sure we maybe go into that for a second. You mentioned product market fit. Was there a time, or I guess an indication that you knew, okay, we now have product market fit? Was like a client you signed or some indicator by investors? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. So actually, like I ask like many investors and other founders also like how they indicate this product market fit.
Mhm.
And they all say like you will know, like you're just growing very fast months or months. You can't deal like with your operations. It was not a very good answer for me. So now I have like better
Yeah.
answer for that. So yes, the first signal. So for startups, it can be a little bit different. But if you're growing like 15, 20% months over months, like or even higher, like but systematically, you
Yeah.
definitely found it. But also what I understood from deeper perspective, like from financial background. So if you can answer the question, so you have your go to market channels, so how you win new customers. If
Mhm.
you can answer the question, so if I will do and make like double here on our investments in these channels, and we will get two times more pipeline or like two times more like new customers. So first of all, you understand who you're targeting definitely, and you understand like how to boost that. So that's the first part, because product market fit, it's about market and about product. So it's like
Yeah.
two sides.
Right.
And from product perspective, if you see, so that's why I think like it's all named like unit economics understanding. But I think that if you see some very strong retention with some types of customers, and types can be different, it can be
Mhm.
role in the company, it can be business model, it can be size of the business, it can be geography. So there can be like different perspectives how you can analyze like different types of customers. But
Mhm.
if you see very strong retention curve, so it's like around 100% or higher, so that you have the same types of customers, so you definitely figure out that you do something great for this exactly type of your customer.
Right.
So that means that when you will go and find these types of customers on the market and you know how to find them, so you'll bring them to the company, so they will use your product, they will be happy and they will grow, so you'll have high churn. And it means that like your revenue will start to grow systematically at this 15-20% months over months.
Okay, gotcha. And you and that's also again another thing I think you're hitting on is like too many people try to get into so many industries and try to be like the everything to everybody instead of focusing on one market, one industry, build that, exhaust that, and then go to other markets, right? I think too many folks are like, oh, there's 20 markets. We can get the total addressable market is the United States. And it's like, well, yeah, sure.
But
But
I think that's okay because at the start we were also like targeting like all companies. So we started okay, we will do finance for all of them,
yeah,
but there's like no other way. You definitely start to do like for all of them, but there should be some point where like you start already to track. Actually, it can be already happen after $1-2 million in annual revenue. So you already definitely have some data about your customers,
yeah,
so you already like can start to understand with which of them you have the best match.
mm,
So but yeah, from the start you definitely do everything for everyone, but I think yeah, many companies they stay in this mood that they still do everything for everyone, and I think it slows down a lot. So we saw that on us. So we had such case and we are like, oh my gosh, we need to develop so many things in the product for all of them
right,
instead of doing one for one category but doing that the best. I
yeah,
think it actually slows down, but you understand it a little bit later.
yeah, yeah. True, 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 true. Okay, so let's end on this. I love to give people an action item,
Okay.
something to take away from this conversation. So I'll put you on the spot. Whether it's a challenge for someone, whether it's a question they should ask themselves, maybe about their business, anything at all, and maybe we can make it around finance, like something they should do in their business today if they haven't looked at their financial models, whatever it is, anything you would encourage people or challenge them to help them get started better in their business.
Yes, I think that definitely I would challenge just sit and ask yourself what is your number for your life. So I mean like number of dividends you want to get every month or every year, so or amount of money you want to earn like from selling this business. So first of all just sit and understand this number for yourself. So what is your money, I don't know, money goal that you have for your life? And the second one, just start systematically every month, spend 1 hour reading your profit and loss statement and do plan for the next month. It will take like, I don't know, maybe several hours per month. So it's not a lot, but just like keep it in your calendar, like put it on a recurring basis that I
Right.
don't know, like of 29 day of the month, like you have this 2 hours that you spend with your finance, and you will see it will bring results already after several months. You will know a lot of things about your business.
Yeah. It's the whole adage, right? What gets measured gets managed. So if you're
Yes, I
focused on
love
it,
this.
right? If you're focused on it, you have a good chance to see the blind spots potentially.
Yes,
So that's a
just
good
be
point.
focused on the right things.
Well, there you go. Well, they can reach out to you to learn more about that. And file now you're on LinkedIn pretty much as your go-to social platform.
Yes, I use LinkedIn a lot, and it all just started that I decided to share like all this knowledge with other founders, entrepreneurs who don't know a lot like about finance, and with idea to make finance a little bit easier for understanding.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I found you on there. I'm glad Alina kind of put us in contact, and this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your journey and
Yeah,
wisdom.
thank you, Brian. It was really cool and insightful.